Hello, everyone. As Shito said, that we'll be talking about what makes us unstoppable and what actually stops us, right? To start with, I think I will start with what are inhibitions, right? So all of us have certain thing that stops us. For me, inhibitions are like, am I good enough? Can I do it? What will my family think about it? What will my husband think about it? What will my parents think about it? It becomes who will think about what, right? And these inhibitions then form a big part of ourselves, and it bothers us a lot. Now, we women, genetically, we are prone to thinking about a lot of things that bother us, right? And we make it blow, we rather blow it out of proportion, right? So, for example, when you are going back to work, right? When you starting work back, I'm sure you would have either been a caregiver and therefore you would have taken a break, or you would have been, you would have become a mother and because of that you would have taken a break. Now your children are at a certain stage and now you want to go back to work. Now what you think is that, can I really go back? What will my children do without me? So let me tell you this, that no one dies when you're not at home, right? Nothing goes wrong when you're not at home. And I have done it myself. I have an 8-year-old daughter who takes care of herself when I go out work. I am a person who has taken a break and then come back to work. And now I am a full-fledged entrepreneur, a mentor, a speaker, everyone. So it is only within us that bothers us. Now, what can you really do to overcome these inhibitions? Firstly, face them. Firstly, face that, yes, I feel there is a problem. I feel that my kids may not be happy when I'm going out. My parents may not be happy when I'm going out. My husband may be looking for my help when I'm outside. Now, firstly, acknowledge that problem. Firstly, say that, yes, that there is a problem. Now, what can you do to empower them? When they are empowered to take care of themselves, you are empowered to do your own stuff. So let me give you an example what I have done, right? So at home, I have told my daughter and my husband that I have a work to go to, and there are certain times I won't be available. It took some time for me to convince them, as well as making sure that they are in line with my tasks. When they are in line with my task, they started realizing that it is equally important for me to go out there and talk and do my own stuff, as important as for me to take care of the home and the family. So that helped me in performing my jobs and making sure everybody at home were well taken care of, right? So this is what I did for myself. Now, what can you really do? Can you think about that? Can you first think about, okay, can I think about the stuff that I'm going to do a little differently? But how are you going to do that, right? Now, for me, what I do is, every time I have a dilemma, every time I think, okay, can I go out today? My daughter is not well. My in-laws need my help today. Can I really go out today? I won't be able to do it. Instead of that, I have started thinking, okay, there is a problem. However, what can I really do to make sure this problem is solved and I'm able to do what I'm supposed to do, right? So let me give you an example. Let me give you an example of how I have done it for myself, right? Just give me a second. I'll just share my screen with all of you. Yeah. Yeah. So, okay, as I was saying, right, how can you really think differently? All right. So let me give you an example. Recently, I was supposed to go for a holiday, okay, with my husband and my daughter. But my father fell sick really badly around the same time. He needed to be taken care of. Now, there was a discussion in the house that how can you go for a holiday? Can you cancel the holiday, etc. Now, this holiday I have been eyeing for almost 20 years now. This was one of my bucket lists that I had, created when I was a child, when I was probably about 10, 12 years old kid, right? Now, I had a choice of canceling that and staying over at home and taking care of my father, be the caregiver, or I had a choice of finding out ways to solve the problem at home and still go and take that holiday. I chose the option B. I figured out a way to solve the problem at home and still took my holiday. Believe it or not, when I came back, I was extremely energetic and I took care of them way better than I would generally in a normal situation. So this is how you think differently. Every time you are in a dilemma, I'm repeating it again so that everybody understands it once more. Every time you're in a dilemma, you are thinking between option A and option B. Try and choose the little difficult option. Ask yourself, what can I really do to take that action? Now, is thinking enough? No, not really. Thinking is not enough. We all think a lot, but we never do. If you do not do, then there is no point thinking. Say for example, if you want to become a so I work in a fashion industry, right? So I'll talk from the fashion industry's point of view, right? So there was a candidate who came to me saying that, listen, I want to get back to work and I want to become a fashion stylist. So I asked her, all right, what's your background? What have you done? What have you really achieved? Can you show me something? So she said, no, I'm a technology person. I have taken a break, but I have a knack for fashion. So I told her, why don't you join me one day? We were doing a seminar for fashion and for Unstoppable Me. Recently, I just concluded another seminar, right? So I asked her, why don't you come for the seminar? Maybe you will understand what is that you want to do in your life and how can you take it forward. There are so many things about a fashion stylist. She did not land up for the seminar. Now, do you all think that she has taken an action? I don't think so. Now, when you take an action, it does two things for you. One, it proves your mind and your mind's naysaying. Your mind is the biggest naysayers of yourself. The outside world comes later. First, your mind says, no, you can't do it. And that is the mind's job. The mind is there to help you protect yourself. And it knows that when you go out of your comfort zone, you are taking yourself to a zone which is dangerous. And therefore, the mind helps you protect. And it says, no, don't do it. No, don't do it. You're not supposed to do it. Let's not do it. The only way to overcome this is to, every time your mind says, do not do it, put your hand in your heart and say, I understand what you're saying, but I will still go ahead and do it. Let me see what happens. What is the worst thing that can happen? You'll probably fail again. So what? You've done and you know what doesn't work and what works. Specifically, you know what does not work. Therefore, try and take an action every time you think you cannot take an action. Once you do that, you will prove yourself wrong every time and you'll start becoming more and more confident. When you become more and more confident, you will become unstoppable in anything that you do. Right? Now, where do you start? You definitely start with yourself. You cannot start anywhere else. Everybody comes to me and says, listen, I want a job. Everybody comes to me and says, listen, I want to become more confident. I tell them, do you really want to become more confident? What is that stopping you? What is that really, keeping you away from that confidence that you want to create? What is that making you stop from taking that attitude, what it takes to go back to work, right? Getting a job is secondary. Firstly, can you really become that person who you want to be? And to do that, you have to take smaller steps. So start with yourself, start loving yourself. We women have this tendency to, not take ourselves very seriously. We put ourselves the last. First comes, say, kids, then comes family, then comes husband, then comes everybody, then comes a dog, then comes neighbors, then comes the relatives, everybody. And at the end, if there is little space remaining, little time remaining, only then it becomes our own, which is a very, very wrong thing to do. You need to start loving yourself. You need to start doing things for yourself. You need to start doing things that make you feel happy, that make you feel achieved, that make you feel contributed to, right? So therefore, girls, please start with yourself. Start treating yourself as a normal human being who needs breaks, who needs happiness, who needs care, who needs love, who needs to feel accomplished. So, therefore, start taking that action with yourself. Go out there, spend some time with whatever makes you happy. And at the same time, while it makes you happy, if it can increase, if it can reskill you while you are making, becoming happy, then nothing like it. It can then take you to the step closer to where you want to go to. So if you want to, get that job, go out there in that company's website, find out the problem that they're facing, try and solve it, and send a mail out to their HR saying that, listen, this is what I found with your website. This is the problem that I found with your website. This is what a solution that I can give. Now, would you like to hire me? Now, do you think any HR will come back and say no to it? They will come and give you the job. So what you're doing here is you're putting yourself out there. You are becoming that assertive person that every HR loves to have in their organization. Second thing is acknowledge your pluses and minuses. We all have pluses and minuses. I am a person, I cannot work when I'm hungry and sleepy. I need to have my food on time. I need to have my sleep on time. So that's my weakness, I can call it, right? Secondly, I cannot work with people who lie. Now, I know this is a trait in me, which then I avoid working with people who are liars, who cannot talk the truth, who are hiding things, and I make sure that I'm away from them. Therefore, it's important to figure out your own pluses and minuses. Once you have found out what is your plus, what is your minus. So some people are extremely good at, for example, technical skills, right? Some people are extremely good at communication. Now if your problem is with your communication, what can you really do to make your communication a little better? If the problem is with your technical skill or the skill that you need to perform that job, then what can you really do to take that action, right? When you take that action, it takes you closer to your dream. And I'm sure all of your dream is not to probably take care of the family alone. You want to achieve something in life. And therefore, it is important that you acknowledge and then appreciate that, yes, I'm good at this and I'm not good at this. Therefore, I will probably do what I'm good at this, what I'm good at. At the same time, I will also take care of things I need to take care for reaching that particular level in that particular height in that particular job post. And then you write to the HRs. When you write to the HR with your actions, the HR will come and tell you, yes, I want to give you that job. So the last mantra from me before I open it up for questions is take action and just go ahead, do it. Think of what is the worst thing that can happen and still go ahead and do it. And if the worst thing has not happened, you have succeeded, my dear. Now I'll open it up for questions. Now, people who are going to ask me question are the one who's going to bell the cat, right? People who are not going to ask the questions, get ahead, ask questions. This is your chance to make yourself unstoppable. Would you take that step ahead? My question is here. Anyone here has questions? I'm still waiting. Okay, so here, Chuck, here there's a question. The only reason I could not get back to work in a hospital setup was, just a minute, let me read it up. Good, I'm seeing a lot of questions and I'm happy that people are coming up. Okay, so couldn't leave my son with anyone else at home. Yes, that's a problem. We all face this problem in a nuclear family. However, there are options here too. You have a choice of either keeping the kid with a creche or with a nanny at home. Now, a lot of old timers will tell you that how can you leave your kid with a nanny or with a, in the creche? But the call, ultimately, the best call is the mother's call, right? The mother knows best. I always tell my daughter, your mother knows best. No matter what you do, where you do, how you have been taken care of, your mother knows the best. Now, if you feel that your kid will be not taken care of in a creche or in by the nanny, then you train them. Once you train them, then you will find that one second. We're just not able to see the questions. So hence, yep. Yeah. So once you have found, that this is the problem, then you have to sort out for the solution. Now, as I said, for your case, the solution could be looking up for a creche or for a nanny who could take care of your kid. Now, if that is done, then you will be able to get back to work. Another option is that you take up a job wherein you do not have to spend long hours like your hospital hours, but something that you can still do around what you love. Right?
Okay. Srijata, just quickly, this question was from Chakrasita, and she says that, hi, I am a biomedical engineer, now a content writer after my son. How to keep oneself motivated always till you find that job? The only reason I couldn't get back to work is a hospital setup that I was, that hospital setup was that I couldn't leave my son with anyone else at home. So she has already made a decision not to go back to that hospital, but she is currently working as a content writer. And the question is how to keep oneself motivated till you find the job that you're really after.
Okay. So motivation is I would say it's a hyped word. Motivation is something that we seek from outside. But motivation is something that is sitting within us. Now, to answer your question, how to motivate yourself, you'll have to first find out what job that you need. What is that job that you're looking for, that you're waiting for? What is that one thing that you're waiting for? Are you really serious about that job? If you are, then you will do anything that it takes to make sure that you are closer to that job. So to answer your question, to keep your motivation levels high to reach to that job, remind yourself every day, here I need to go here. I am here today, I need to go here tomorrow. To do that, what steps do I need to take on a daily basis to reach closer to that job? And once you take that every step each day, one step a day, you will automatically feel motivated, my friend.
Okay. Thank you for that, Srijata. The next question is from Bindu. She says, hi, you mentioned about HRS or HR being open-minded and giving us a job when they find us so useful. I'm being a naysayer here. Do they really have the time for it? I have found that people who are not as good as you, but they still have the right contacts, get jobs, even with companies like Cisco, Google, etc.
Okay, so your question here is about the real talent versus the contact and connections. Is that correct? I'm assuming it is. So let me tell you, I had the same question. When I started my entrepreneurship, I felt, as if people were only taking, others seriously, entrepreneurs seriously if you had the contact, if you had the connections, if you had that known face in the industry. Now, let me tell you, the HR is a very, very close knit community in our country, in our city. Therefore, for them to find out who's good, who's not, yes, you're right, they do not have enough time to keep exploring. And hence, I said it is important for all the candidates who are looking to reach out to that particular job in that particular country. In your case, you mentioned Cisco. So I'm taking Cisco as an example. Imagine you want to become the, a manager in a Cisco setup, or you want to become the software tester in Cisco. Now, what can you really do to grab the attention of the right people in that particular organization? It could be a HR, it could be the person who could be a manager or a senior person who then can move the puzzles around to fit you inside there, right? The action has to come from your end. Now, if the HR doesn't have the capabilities to take care or to understand what you're capable of, find out a person who is then capable of understanding your capabilities, first of all, and then do something that will just blow them out of their seats, and they will come to you saying that, yes, we want to do an interview with you. Now, just because you've done a small project, a pet project for them on your own completely, doesn't mean that you will get the job. But what it will do for you is it will motivate you, it will increase your confidence. At the same time, it will open up your chances way higher to get that job in that organization.
So just quickly, Bindu, maybe even I can try and help with that question a little bit. So yes, I completely understand your point that HRs don't have the time to follow up each and every application, however, mind blowing this candidate could have been. But also look at it that way, the industry needs good people. Although, there is news of layoffs, people are asked to leave and all the rest of that. But industry is continuously looking for good people continuously. So and what are some of our options to sort of stay connected or get in front of these HRs? How can we play our cards well? One, by taking up, if you're not able to get direct calls from HRs, feel free to take up other things like, do take up a course, do an internship, do a project. As Srijata mentioned, do something for that company that could be valuable for them. Put up a case study in front of them that could be valuable for them. Go that extra mile to prove to them that you deserve that offer. And if not a Cisco or a Google, I'm sure somebody else would recognize that potential. As Srijata said, this HR is a very closely knit community. Maybe Cisco is not looking for talent, your kind of talent right now, but they will be able to recommend you or refer you to other places. So highly recommend that you do that. The next question, Srijata, is the name's not been provided, but here it is. Hi, I have started working very late in life. In between, again, I had to take some breaks. Due to this, I'm unable to convince employers that I'm serious about work now. So how do I convince them? Also, I feel that my age is also coming in my way. Srijata, do you have a solution to
I
that?
think the same answer which I said before applies for you as well. Um, See, well, age is a constraint, and I will have to give it to you for the bigger companies, right? So, if you look at the bigger companies, they need to keep, there is a reason for it. They need to keep their average age of the employees at a certain level for them to, uh, basically they need to, they're always saying that they are a young company. When they say they're a young company, they need to keep their average age bar of each employee under a certain level. And that could be one of the reasons why age becomes a problem for these big companies. However, when you go to startups, right, or smaller companies, which only and only looks at talent, right? So therefore, can you reach out to, say, a company, instead of company XYZ, to a smaller company which is ABC, and do the similar stuff that you want to do with them? Now, your age will not be a constraint. If you have seen, there are companies who have old interns, who take silver interns, like, people who are gray haired, they take them as interns because they believe They need young blood. At the same time, they need experienced people to bring out a completely different thought process into that organization. Now, can you first of all find out those organizations? Two, can you fit yourself in those organizations? Three, to come out of the fear that am I, is it? Sheetal, would you repeat the question once more? I think I missed out a bit of it.
So basically, she's saying I've started working very late in my life, and then she had to take some more breaks.
Mm-hmm.
And now she's unable to convince any employer that she's serious about her work now. And also that age comes in my way. So honestly speaking, Srijata, I wouldn't completely agree with you there, where you say that age could be a concern. Honestly, we've had people as much as 38, 40 coming back, making a comeback to their careers with 10 or 12 years of experience, took a break of a few years, 3 or 4 years, and then did make a successful comeback. So we've got success stories of that nature also, because bear in mind that that age, it could actually play in your favor. You bring so much experience, so much wisdom, so much stability, so much strength to your work, so much commitment to your work, that employers do want you. Yes, they want youngsters, they want young crowd, they want to be called a young company, but having said that, they definitely strive for wisdom also. So it's just for you to be able to find that good fit for yourselves. And if you're having concerns, if you're having issues around being able to convince the employer whether or not you're good to come back, do more to convince them. And
Yes.
what can you do more? Take up internships, do projects. And I've said that to Bindu earlier on as well. Unless and until you do more, you try to convince your employer, just so don't focus on your break, focus on the work that you did before your break and build on that. If you just keep, you go to an interview and you say, I've been on a break for the last 5 or 6 years, I'm totally outdated. They're not interested to listen to that story. They're more interested to listen to what have you done before your break, what have you done during your break to keep yourselves relevant, keep yourselves updated. And then, are you ready to show me your commitment, show me your willingness to come back, and I will hire you.
I'll just add
So
one thing here,
yeah.
Sheetal. I think I completely agree with you here. Yes, there are, so finding the right fit for the right company for the right job, it is very, very important. While I do that, I would just concentrate on that confidence bit of it. My question to you would be, not to you, Sheetal, for the person who's asked the question, is that, are you confident with yourself? If you are, then you wouldn't concentrate on your break. You would concentrate on your work. So let me quickly, give you a small incident. Once a person came to me and said, I'm a stammerer. I told him, are you really a stammerer? He said, yes, I'm a stammerer. So I asked him to say 5 sentences. When he said all the 5 sentences, at the end of 5 sentences, he had stammered once. Does any of you here think he's a stammerer? I don't think so. But he believed he's a stammerer. Because of that, he was always feeling low on confidence. So your belief, your inner belief needs to have 100% confidence in yourself, your own self, in your own capabilities. Then all these things that you have taken a break, your kids are not giving you enough time to pursue something, your husband is not agreeing to you, etc., etc., etc. All of these will automatically go out of the window.
Okay.
Yeah.
The next question is from Trupti. She says, hi, this is Trupti. I'm currently working with an AMC. Or I'm sure she means MNC. I'm not sure what AMC is, but planning to leave the job. Due to long working hours, I'm facing lots of issues in managing my kid. Need guidance on how to go about searching a work from home option, as don't want to weed out the time only sitting at home. Trupti, I think Srijata might not be able to help you with this, but I could drop me a direct email at sheetal@womenrestart.com, and we can connect and we can try and identify what your skill sets are, and we could help you find the work from home option. Bindu, the next one again is internship is an age barrier. I'm 36 already. This is another concern. So, Bindu, if you want an internship, again, reach out to me, Sheetal at womenrestart.com. I'm sure Srijata might have a couple of points to add on to there as well. You know,
Yes.
finding
So
an internship, do you think that's difficult, Srijata?
not at all, not at all. We take interns from any age groups, any walks of life, as long as they are ready to learn and as long as they are committed to their work. So I think, in fact, like me, there are quite a few companies out there who doesn't bother what's your age. They only look at what is that you're capable of and what is your commitment level. So as long as these
Perfect.
two things are in place, I don't think you will find it difficult to get an internship at all. You can reach out to me
Yeah.
through Sheetal as well on this.
Okay, great. So the next one, again, coming back from the same person who asked that question about, I'm unable to convince employers and I'm serious about work now, etc. I don't have a name, so I'm just repeating the context. And she's saying, my interest is in social sector. It is adding to lack of confidence. It's Shobha. Shobha is the name of the person. So my interest is in social sector, she's saying, and it's adding to lack of confidence. So if yeah, so Srijata, over to you.
Well, I kind of didn't understand the questions too much, but if you really want to go into social sector, let me tell you there are quite a few companies who are looking for people in the social sector arena. I'm sure Sheetal or I can either help you out. So you can reach out to Sheetal on this and let us know what is that you want to do in social sector. Social sector is a vast area, and regarding confidence, again, I would keep going back to that. Are you confident with yourself? Are you confident what you bring onto the table is enough for you to grab that job? If not, what else can you do to uplift that confidence? Right? We can help you. I can work with you personally in terms of understanding the reasons why you're not confident. What is that bothering you? And bring those weeds out of your mind and make sure that you become unstoppable. So I'm ready to work with you on that personally as well, Shoma.
So that's brilliant. Thank you so much for Srijata and Shobha. Congratulations on that one. You found yourself a new coach. So you can reach out to Srijata, who would actually help you overcome the barrier of lack of confidence. Let's see. Hopefully this would be a very fruitful session for you, and she would actually understand your inhibitions and maybe help you weed them out. The next question is from Rajshri. She says, "Hi, as a woman, I feel sometimes caught up between professional and personal commitments and feel guilty too. I have about 7 years of experience in content writing, blogging, etc. I have applied for content coordinator role, and where they were looking for 2 to 5 years of experience, but I'm not sure if I am a mismatch. So basically, once again, you're saying that you've got 7 years of experience in content writing and blogging, uh, and when you're applying for jobs, you're still not getting a response from them. Is that right, Rajshri? Yes, yes. So, could there be a gap on your resume? Maybe it's not coming across so well in your resume, or do you think you could do more instead of just going to job sites and applying for positions? Do you think you could actually reach out to relevant companies directly? Maybe do some direct one-to-one networking with them and find those. Yeah, maybe I cannot identify. Please help. Ratri, I'll try to help definitely. I would highly recommend that you also attend our next webinar, which is on the 21st, which talks about your resume, how to network with purpose. And the speaker for that event is also an expert in that industry. So I would highly recommend that you also attend that webinar and stay in touch with us. We can maybe connect you to, because a lot of startups, small startups, mid-sized startups, funded startups, who are always looking for content writers, because content writing and blogging is a very, very powerful means today to reach out to the audience, the consumers. So yes, that's possible. And